Our story today is The Ant and the Grasshopper. And when you listen to this story, I want you to listen to the choices that the insects make and, and their consequences for those choices, which means what happens to them when they make the choices that they make. The Ant and the Grasshopper, a fable by Aesop. One beautiful summer day, a lazy grasshopper was chirping and sitting and playing games just as he did every day. A hard-working ant passed by, carrying a huge leaf that he was taking back to the ant's nest. The grasshopper said to the ant, "All you ants do is work all day. You should be more like me and play, play, play." Well, the ant replied, "I'm storing food for the winter season. You should be working for just the same reason. What will you eat when the weather gets cold? How will you feed your hungry household?" The grasshopper laughed. "All you ants do is work and worry. Slow down. Don't be in such a hurry. Just look around. There's plenty of food. Don't give me advice. That's just plain rude." Well, the ant kept working and the grasshopper kept playing, and winter soon came. The ant had prepared for the winter and had just enough food stored in the nest to last through the cold, harsh winter. Now that winter had arrived, the grasshopper couldn't find any food, and soon he became very hungry. But he remembered that hard-working ant he had made fun of during the summer. So the grasshopper went to the ant's nest and asked for food. The ant, who was still busy keeping the food clean and dry, said, "I worked hard to save food for the winter freeze, while you spent the summer playing in ease. I stored just enough food for the winter. It's true, but I can't feed you all winter, or I'll starve too." So the ant gave the grasshopper a few crumbs, but the grasshopper was cold, miserable, and hungry all winter. Well, that next summer, you know what that grasshopper did? He worked hard to store food for the upcoming winter, and that next winter, Grasshopper was well fed and happy. He had learned to think ahead and plan for the future, and that is the end of the story. Boy, that grasshopper learned a big lesson, didn't he? At first, the ant was making a very wise choice, a safe choice. He could feed his family. That grasshopper was just playing and playing all summer long, not just a little bit, and had no food. But thank goodness that ant shared. That was a very kind choice. And the grasshopper learned the lesson, and that next winter, he had plenty of food for his family. I love that happy ending and helping hands. All right, I want to show you, let's look at this story mathematically. So I have a bucket, and I'm going to use yellow cubes, and we're going to say these are the acorns for the ant's food. So this is going to represent the acorns for the ant's food. So the ant was gathering food all winter long. So help me count as we put an acorn into her bucket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she had 5 acorns. Now, the grasshopper, the second winter or the second summer, he worked, and we're going to have the green represent the grasshopper's food. So help me count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if we look at the grasshopper's food and we look at the ant's food, which one has more? Do you know? Well, if you said the same, I think you're right, but we must prove it. How do we prove it? Well, we're going to have to line them up. So I'm going to take 1 grasshopper food and 1 ant food. 1 grasshopper food and 1 ant food. 1 grasshopper and 1 ant. 1 grasshopper, 1 ant, and 1 grasshopper, and 1 ant. And now we have none left. And look, if you said the same, you are correct, because look, for every acorn, every ant food, there is a grasshopper food. There's none left over. So if you said the same, you were correct. Now let's do something else a little bit harder. I'm going to put the grasshopper food back in his bucket. So grasshopper food back in his bucket. And I'm going to put the ant food back in her bucket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's say the ant really did work a lot harder than the grasshopper, right? So let's add some more food to the to the ant's food. So I have 5. So help me count. We're going to add one more. So we're going to do something called +1 rule. All right, so 5, add 1, 6, add 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, wait, what happened to the number of acorns in this ant's basket? What did it do? As we counted, it went from 5, 6, 7, 8. It kept increasing. So when the number gets bigger and you get more, it's called increase. Can you do that with me? Increase. So boy, that ant got a lot more food now, didn't it? So that's the +1 rule, or the add 1. So we just do 1 at a time, and that makes it increase. But now that grasshopper, let's do a different rule for him because he didn't work so hard, did he? Now, do you remember he had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he has 5. But this time, instead of adding 1, we're going to take away 1. So we're going to do the take away 1 rule. So are you ready? So there's 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No more. What happened to the grasshopper's food? He doesn't have any. So the number went down. The number got smaller, fewer. That's called decrease. So let's do this. His number decreased. It got smaller. So that is the rule of take away 1. So we have add 1. Woohoo! Look at all that food. And take away 1. Oh no. So on your assignment today, you have some snowmen, because I was hoping it would snow today. So we have some snowmen. And you have 1, 2, 3 snowmen. And do you see the little things at the top? On your snowman, yours are a lot prettier on your assignment. But on this one, you have an arrow going down for decrease. And this one is the number you get to choose. So that's your free choice number. And this one is increase. So that's our +1. So you're going to choose a number. And there's a box down at the bottom. So whatever number you want, from 0 to 10. I think I'm going to choose 3. I like the 3. So help me make it. Around the tree. Shh, don't wake the bear. Around the tree. So that's 3. So that's my number. I chose 3. Now I'm going to give my snowman 3 buttons. And you can do them in different colors and make it pretty. 1, 2, 3. So my number is 3. Now, I'm going to do the decrease, the take away 1. So I've given you a number line on yours. But if I have 3, you can also do it this way. 3, and I take 1 away. How many do I have left? 1, 2. Or you should have been able to just count that 2. So on this one, I'm going to decrease. My number gets smaller. So I'm going to write the number 2. Oh, help me do that. Around and back on the railroad track. Toot, toot. And I'm going to give him 2 buttons. 1, 2. But this one has an increase arrow. So I'm going to take 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to add 1 to make it more. 1. And now how many more do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, 4. How do I make a 4? Well, we can go down and across and down some more. 4. And now I'm going to give him 4 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And you also have an example on your page as well. Have fun. I can't wait to see your buttons that you draw and your numbers that you choose.